Jackie, do you want to
Sure.
talk about the posting?
Yes, I posted it at our front door, at the post office and at the grocery store.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie. Are there any guest comments tonight, other than about dog parks or anything else like that?
No other.
We have to approve the agenda.
Oh, we have to.
Oh,
approve
sorry, I missed the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you, Wendy and Jan, for a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you for the agenda. And no guest comments, is that correct, Jackie?
Correct. Yeah.
Any Zoom participants other than me?
No.
And we're not so sure about you.
And you're not sure about me. I could be artificial intelligence, but anyway. Any correspondence this month, Jackie?
No.
Okay, great. And the approval of the minutes, if you want to just take a moment and look over the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Thank you again from Jan and then Wendy. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Thank you. I don't have a long president's report or anything really this month other than some of the things that we'll just talk about in terms of the agenda. Friends of the Library is Jane. I do see you there, Jane.
Yeah, the Friends had their first meeting of the year this Monday, and we have shifted the date for the June book sale to June 13th. It will coincide with all of the yard sales, but that was the best time for everybody to be present. So
Yeah.
working towards that.
June 13th.
June 13th.
And Jane, is that going to be, did you say outside the
Yes,
library this year?
Be by the gazebo in the side yard.
The gazebo, yep, great.
Yeah.
Possible future home of a pollinator garden.
Yes. That is a very good possibility.
Oh, nice.
There's follow on that one.
Anything else, Jane?
Not for the Friends at this time.
Okay, great. Secretary report. Do you have anything to report, Mr. Secretary?
I have nothing to report this month.
Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Everybody except you has a treasurer's report because I didn't email it. It was hot off the press when I brought it in here. But there's really not much to note on here. No major expenses, some books that needed to be bought, some books that needed to be replaced. A couple honorariums to the authors who came for the books on Saturdays in May or April.
April.
Recently. And I mean, that is really, the total expenses were $1,305 and the income was $338.99.
Okay. Thank you, Wendy.
Well,
And bills to the board, did you all have a chance to look at those?
Yes,
Yeah,
they were,
look
you sent those
Yes,
out, right?
that's
Okay,
these here.
Yep, yes.
Do we have a, sorry about that, but do we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report and bills to the board?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you.
The treasury report and approve the bills to the board.
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor of approving the treasurer's report and the bills to the board, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Great. Thank you very much, Wendy.
yeah,
Library, Jackie, what do you have,
Okay.
what do you have to say this month?
Well, now, no, I was kidding. As Jane said, the sale's coming up, and because everyone is aware of the upcoming donation or upcoming book sale, we have been getting lots of donations. I think in the last 3 weeks, we've got about 15 to 20 boxes of books that have come in that we have been processing and
Wow.
adding to the collection and or putting it into the basement for Jane and the rest of the friends to process. So it's been very busy in that regard, which is good. There was a lot of nice John Steinbeck came in one day, so it was really good.
oh, that is good.
Yeah,
That is good.
yeah. So I've been doing summer reading visits. Last week, the 12th, I was out at NES. The week before that, I was out at NES. It usually takes about 2 days to cover the elementary school at Northwestern. The children up here are going to be actually walking down to the library because they're going to have Dick Rewald talk a little bit about the carriage house, and then they're going to come in and hear about the summer reading program, and we're gonna switch. So that'll be like on, I think, the 28th or the 29th of this month. We're actually even getting a library visit from a Superior, I think, middle school library. They're coming over to visit the museum, but then they're gonna come over here too, and we'll do a little visit and see how they enjoy the library here as well.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Questions? Yeah, we also went up to South Shore, so we've got all the schools covered minus the final program down here. The library, or the middle school book club has all wrapped up. We met one final time in the first Friday in May because the kids really wanted to, so we got that 10 to 2. The adult book clubs are taking place this week. Yesterday was the afternoon book club where they discussed Fahrenheit 451. Tomorrow is the evening book club, and that we're going to be discussing the Book of Lost Names. Summer reading will officially begin in June. And instead of having the young adult and adult read a book and review it, we're going to just change everyone to minutes. So from the youngest to the oldest, everyone is going to be doing recording minutes, and we're hoping to get to 50,000 minutes for the summer for all ages. So,
That's starting
Wow.
when, Jackie?
pardon me?
That's starting when?
We starting officially the week of the 15th of June.
Okay.
Yeah. We have 3 guest readers, Matt Ladwig, the police chief. He's going to come read to the kids. Bob Evans is coming, if anybody knows who he is. And then Daniela Mikola, who is the superintendent of South Shore, she is coming also to read. In a mix that we're having fizzy dinosaur eggs and geoscience programs. And then again on the July 16th, we are going to be partnering with the Bayfield Fair again to do an art day. I've talked to all the libraries in Bayfield County, including Red Cliff, excuse me. And they're all on board. If we can bring them art supplies, they will have the program, then they will gather the information and send it down to us along with the dinosaur, whatever type of dinosaur project they have them doing. I'm hoping to get a bunch of the quick drying model from, I think it's Crayola. You can form it in like a few short hours. It's pretty hard, so I'm gonna see if we can get a large quantity of that and share with the other libraries. So that way there'll be a whole bunch of different dinosaurs for the fair this year. So that's kind of what's on the agenda. And then our final program will be in August. We're having a magician and ventriloquist named Kevin Saley. He's coming, and he's going to be doing his show, hopefully followed by the pizza parlor.
When is that happening?
Pardon me?
When is that happening?
August 15th. So that's what we've got on the books so far.
That's great.
Busy.
Well, that that is amazing, Jackie, that what you've done, and that's our, one of our next agenda items, so that kind of takes care of that, but
Oh,
that's
yes.
amazing that the libraries are on board with that project, and we will definitely make sure we get the kits or the clay and all the whatever it is they need. That's that's amazing work from you. I really,
I'm looking forward to seeing all the
wow,
little creations.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
So.
gonna be great. Maybe
that's
we'll actually
very,
fill up
very
all the
impressive.
halls there in the
That'd be cool.
exhibit hall. Maybe use up all the spaces. Wouldn't that be great? Yes.
Yeah, that 4-H building is going to be hopping this year. It's very exciting.
That's the whole yes.
Well, that's that's really great. Thank you for all of those things. It's been a busy spring for you all there, I know.
It's
So,
been good.
wow. Anything else? Any other questions for Jackie?
Do we have a deadline set for when all that stuff needs to be
I believe it's
Gathered.
July 20th.
brought to the
Or
table?
everyone needs to be registered by that time.
Okay.
So we will be, and I will put that in the paperwork so the other libraries know to, if they can't get the stuff by that time, at least that we can get them recorded. So that
Right.
way they can get their passes for the fair, so.
And Jackie, I'll come and see you this next couple of days or early next week to help figure out how we can get all those materials to the libraries. I just want to say that it's really neat to have all the libraries working together in the county. Like that's really fun. And really all the kids like neat things for all the,
So, yeah.
that's good. On a common thing together. That's great.
I should mention, I took tomorrow and Friday off because my son is graduating, so I gotta get my house claimed.
Gotcha.
Be here on Tuesday, Amber.
You sure you can't do it just in one day? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I get it. So good. Well, that's if we could want to move on to the old business, that kind of took care of that item about kind of where we're at with that project. And that Iron River and Jackie mostly, I think, kind of like really got everybody together and into a common thing. And so way to go. So we could move on to new business and we could just talk about the job pod room policy. Jackie, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
What we had done is we had taken the policy that we have for the conference room and just more or less added the word rooms or job pod so that the same parameters are for both. We have added also a line on the application form asking which room they would like so that we can keep track of that because we're gonna need that for the annual report. They want us to have meeting room information for the annual report this year, so we have that, and then there's just a few other word choices in that I highlighted, so it wasn't anything real extraneous. For,
Has anybody used it yet?
Pardon?
Has anyone used it yet?
Yeah, we actually had a gentleman, he's been 3 times doing an interview, so I think he's the one conducting the interviews. But it could be the other way, and then we had someone today that filled out a job application, so it's being used for the intention, but it's also, people also like it just for the quiet space too, because I've had a few people say, can I use that quiet space, and they'd like to just be able to kind of focus on things when they need to do that, so.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
great.
Very good thing, so, and if you haven't seen it, Heather came from Idea Design on Saturday and she put up the decal, so the job pod Microsoft, powered by Microsoft is all on there now too, so it's all official. We still don't have the ramp, but we're working on that.
The what?
There's a slight ramp that's supposed to go in there for anyone who is handicap accessible. I mean, I think those that like have a walker, they could, it's not that big of a increase that they can just walk into it. But for anyone who's wheelchair bound, you're gonna need that ramp, and the person that needs to install it is trying to get a crew together, because we also asked him to turn it. And so he's working on that project. So I'll have a little bit more room back there that way.
Jackie, is there anything that we need to adopt on that policy?
The biggest thing was that a previous board wanted it to be just have adult supervision for the conference room. And we've kind of extended that into the job pod also. So I don't know if the board is okay with that, having to have an adult in review with it. Being it's out in right next to the desk, it's less troubling than can be back here, but we did have a couple of little girls that were about maybe 8 in there one time, and they were slamming the table up and slamming the seats. So I did say that we had to keep it all down and that we need to. So I am kind of hesitant about allowing anyone under 18 in there by themselves, unless maybe 16, because they'd be looking for a job for a high school kid.
So say some high school kids wanted to come in here and use this room
Mm-hmm.
for a meeting or a study class or something, they would have to have an adult, an 18-year-old with them.
Yes, and we did have a group that came in and did gaming, Dungeons and Dragons. And one of them was 18, so he was the one that was in charge. And then he had younger siblings and or friends that were with him, but yeah, we had that. We actually have an elementary school book group that comes and meets in here. But I required that there needed to be an adult on premises for them, so that way they don't have to be in the room, I said, but if they can be like right outside it, or if there's issues, that the library doesn't have to be the ones policing them, so. And that's worked out well.
But that's not part of the job pod?
No, I mean, it can be, but I mean, the job pod, I mean, it can fit 4 people in there fairly comfortable for small people, but when you get adults in there, it would be pretty tight for like 4 adults. And my son and I sat in there because I was helping him do something earlier this week, and you know, we were able to sit next to each other on one of the benches, but I wouldn't want to do that for any hours on end for, you know, doing a meeting of any sort. So I'm thinking, you know,
So you would recommend we don't need it for the job pod?
everyone, oh yeah, I'm thinking job pod would still be covered by this policy if we can. Is that what you mean?
As far as the 18-year-olds.
Was that,
Oh, about 18-year-olds. Yeah, I guess we could have that, and then, or under stipulation from the director or something like that, we have it as 18 and older unless permission given by library director, so that way we can, if we have like a 16-year-old come in, I don't want to deny him the opportunity to do a job search just because they're underage, so. And that way we can do it on a case-by-case basis.
And that's not currently written into the policy,
No, it's not.
but it could be, and that would be good to add. I think under your discretion, that really makes sense, because then you can assess the situation and go, yeah, this is legit, and what's not.
so we shouldn't approve that policy tonight?
We
Until,
can fix that for next time if you want.
okay,
Yeah, why don't you add to it and just bring it next month?
Yeah, just so there's no question about it.
I would just like to see it written out before I approve it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I will put that in there then.
Okay, great, thank you, Jackie. What about the job pod promotion?
Well, we had a very small ribbon cutting ceremony for the job pod on the 11th.
I love the scissors.
I thought that was hilarious.
That is the best known part of that, is that scissors was supposed to cut the ribbon, just was having the hardest time.
misbehaving. That was
But-
hilarious. It was hilarious.
Corey did a great job with you.
Yeah,
We had to work on that one, but that's okay.
Yeah,
It got it into the paper and online,
yep,
but, the job pod people, the people behind it all, they wanted to have certain representatives from like east regional, is it northeast,
Oh.
what, the job.
Right.
Yes, Northwest Job Center, or I have the right wording at home. It's not job center, but it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes, so we should be inviting them too. So my hope is, because Jeff and I had talked about having just a small one for the fact that come this summer when we have an open house for the carriage house, that we could just incorporate a job pod promotion as well at the same time if the rest of the board is okay with that. That way we can really get the hype out there of, having the survey, having the visit of the carriage house, visit the library with the job pods, so that way we could get a lot more bang for the buck and also include these people that we can invite for promotion.
So what took place with the ribbon cutting? What was that called? Is it
That was just a real soft opening.
soft opening?
Yeah, I just wanted to have it so that we could get it in the paper and start getting people aware of the event. Besides those that walk in and say, oh, what's that? So that way it started to get some promotion that way.
So an official opening or a,
Yeah, well, a major opening. I should say.
Grand opening, yeah.
Yeah,
just want to get it for the minutes.
yep. Totally.
And when will that be?
Whenever we decide this summer that they're gonna have the open house for the carriage house / event of some sort like that.
Which we can talk about in one of our next items about what that your group wants to do about all that.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense, Jackie, about the people wanting, I know that group, yeah, they would like media, I guess, more than maybe we did. So
Yeah,
I think that's a good solution.
yeah, and I will say no one came for the ribbon cutting besides
Yeah.
myself. So it was a very, very soft opening.
Very soft opening. Well, I would have been there, but I was down here. So, but I will come to the grand opening for sure. Okay, great. Thank you for that. And then if we could talk about just a quick change to the July meeting. If we just have some conflicts with some board people. I didn't know if anybody wants to say anything about that, but I was wondering about, I know we're talking a couple months ahead of time, but that would be nice. If moving from the 15th to the 22nd of July, does that work with the board? And our liaisons, who is kind to attend our board meetings and everything else. Does that work for people?
Works for me.
it works for me.
Yes. Okay.
thank you, it's me, you guys, so thank you.
Well, I was
appreciate
gonna say it
that.
was me too, so we're.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, so July, next meeting will be the July, or the second, two meetings from now, July 22nd, we'll change that. So we can, make everybody aware of that well ahead of time. Thank you for that. So Jackie, do you want to talk about the Douglas County funds reimbursement?
yes, like we do for Bayfield County, we provide services to Douglas County residents, and Douglas County then reimburses us for 70% of those costs. That check came at around the last meeting, and then Wendy wrote a check and I gave it to the town board. And they wanted to have a discussion, or us to have a discussion about where those funds should be placed. Because last year, the funds were put into the general fund.
Yeah,
And once monies are given to a library, it can't be ungiven. So that we needed to let them know where we want that $22,000 to be placed.
Which line you mean?
Pardon me?
Which line are you mean?
Yes, which line item? If we wanted
what
to
if-
have materials, or if we wanna have it in maintenance, or whether you wanna have it set aside for building, maintenance, what have you.
What do you suggest?
Pardon me?
Do you have a suggestion?
In the past, we've used it just for supplies and materials and such throughout the year. And that
And
works well,
has it
but
typically been that amount? About
it's a little higher this year. Usually it's around 15 to 20, but this year it's 22. So we have a little
How
bit.
about some of it goes in the maintenance for the carriage house fund and some goes into the materials?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like if we could mix that or even put it in one fund and then be able to talk about moving it over to, as we work on the carriage fund, be able to move it over to that. Or just split it up right now. What
We
are,
do-
what are your thoughts about that?
We do have the discretion to move it during the year?
Yeah,
Okay.
We can.
as long as the board makes the decision to do that.
And so
Is that true, Cassie,
Yeah.
from the town
Yeah, you just have to notify them and that, but you have to have a motion and.
to do it?
Okay.
The-
Okay.
As long as the only line you really can't touch is the employee line, wages.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah,
the-
not wages, but in terms of general fund types of,
Go from one
Things.
line to the other, but you have to do it without a motion then.
do we have a separate line item for the carriage house or is that under maintenance?
We had started a line item last month or two ago where it was building maintenance, I think is what we called it.
yes.
And with the idea of whether it's the carriage house or whether it's this building, you have a kind of a little bit of a slush fund for some unknown or planned fees.
Let me ask you this, Jackie. Do you think that if that went into that fund that we've set aside to sort of build towards this big project, are you hurting if we didn't put it in materials right now? I mean, are we hurting for this next year for the materials and supplies that you may need this year?
Well, it might not be hurting, we would just have to cut back a little bit, so. The Friends have given us $300 a month for materials, so we would be getting some materials purchasing each month. So when it comes to like library supplies that we use for programs and such, the Friends have also generously given us some funds for summer reading prizes. So we're pretty good, I think, through the month of August, at least in regards to library supplies and materials.
How would we feel about doing like 10,000 into the carriage house maintenance line item and 12,000 into materials and supplies?
That kind of makes sense because we really can move it later if we need to, if the need arises. So
I'll make a motion to split the carriage house, I split the reimbursement from Douglas County between the carriage house maintenance line item on the budget and the materials supplies line item on the budget.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
we have a second. So we have a motion by Jan and a second from Wendy to split the funds from Douglas County. Any other further discussion about that?
We
Yeah.
have to have a roll call because it's financial.
Right.
We'll do a roll call.
do
Yeah,
you want to,
David.
do you want to specify amount?
Oh, I'm sorry, specifying the amount, sorry, yes, so the motion would contain 10,000 for the carriage house maintenance line item and the 12,000 for materials and
This
supplies.
is from building maintenance.
What?
Building maintenance is what you.
Oh, bills and maintenance,
Building.
Building,
building maintenance, sorry.
Does that add up to exactly what we're getting? Does it need to?
It is, I think it was like $22,574.74.
that's exactly right.
How about if the motion says 10,000 to the building maintenance fund and the remainder
And remainder to
The remainder.
to what, and what is it, materials and supplies?
Materials and supplies. Yeah, that's a good solution. Is there any other discussion about that use of the Douglas County funds?
So I have the motion by Jan to split the reimbursement from Douglas County funds to $10,000 to building maintenance and the remainder to materials and supplies. Is that correct?
Is that, is
Okay.
that, is that good with the motion giver?
Yes,
Okay, great. All those in favor say, oh, sorry, well, you're going to do a roll call vote. David,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
Jan,
Aye.
and I would say aye. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, so the last item on our agenda tonight is, just as we have done over the last several months, is a quick update from our various task force people. And who would you like to start, Jane?
Sure. Our library working group met the 29th of April. Thanks to the work of Jean Joseph and Ellie and Jackie, we have two draft position descriptions. One for a broad volunteer coordinator and a second potential program and events coordinator, recognizing that one person might want to do both, but there's plenty of work for each position.
What were the names of them again? The volunteer coordinator and
Volunteer coordinator and then program and events.
program, thank you.
Coordinator?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
We had, made a number of suggestions. They'll be coming back to our next meeting with some final drafts, and then we'll start advertising that, trying to get the word out. That we're interested in not just those, but also Jean and Jackie were putting together sort of a more extensive list of everything that volunteers at all levels could do, besides those two. And we have a goal of sometime this summer in our busy Saturdays to have an open house specifically for volunteers, where we can track people, explain what we're looking for, and see if we can get some individuals willing to step up. As part of that, we also have, for both of them, we have some desired experience and background. There's nothing hard necessarily, but what we're looking for in those individuals. So that has been the main focus of our work, and hope to find a good time to have an open house. And it's amazing how quickly the calendar fills up for Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Great. Any questions for our team?
Well, one thing that came up during our meeting this afternoon, the Carriage House Working Group meeting was, will this, not your group, will they be working at all on, I couldn't quite remember we're fundraising.
Fundraising.
That's you guys, right?
Yes,
Excellent.
yes, that's
Okay, great.
next on our agenda, now that we've got the volunteers pretty well scoped out,
Great.
is to start discussing the fundraising aspects and strategies going forward. That will obviously include a lot for the Carriage House.
Great.
Yeah, well said. You all just have to come up with the ideas of what you want. And brainstorms for us of the group for what to do, or
And Jeff will come up with the money.
no, no, but we will. We're good. We'll do it.
Right.
It'll get done with all of us working
Yeah.
together.
Of open meeting laws, we really can't jointly meet except
Right.
in this meeting unless we call the special meeting specifically for fundraising
that.
for the Carriage
Right.
House.
Right.
You guys will have to approve their draft for those positions too.
Oh, that will have to be approved at board level for the drafts for the positions. Once you get them
Oh,
for
yeah,
the volunteer.
for the volunteer
Yep.
coordinator.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, our next meeting, what was it? It is also gonna be the end of this month.
I
Yeah,
think it's,
next week, I think.
Yeah, next week, 28th,
I mean.
Thursday. So we should have those final drafts of both of those coordinated positions that we can present to for the June board here.
Yeah, great. So, thanks, Jane, so much. Who would like to speak for the carriage house?
The main thing we discussed was the informal structural evaluation of the building, which has taken place, and I wasn't able to be there, but Jan was, and she's here, so.
Yeah, so Greg Martinson, formerly of Twin Creek Construction, was coming through and said, I had asked him if he'd be willing to come and take a look at the building just as a freebie for us, just to sort of confirm whether or not the building, what the stability of the building is, what's possible. And and I was able to get a hold of Dick Raywald, so he joined me and Greg, and we went through the building, top to bottom, and I guess basically the upshot of it all was that Greg felt that it was, you know, a sturdy building, but that he would recommend that the building be, because of the way the floor has buckled and the issues with the not knowing what's going on underneath there, rather than trying to tear it up and rebuild and on top of that site, that it would be more cost effective and easier to pour a new foundation with exactly what we want in it in terms of sewer and that sort of thing, and lift the building and put it on on a slab. On the new slab, then get rid of the old foundation. Fill it in, plant, do whatever, put parking, whatever you wanna do there where the old building would be. And we discussed that and possible placement of the building is something I think the group generally agreed that that was a good idea. A better idea than trying to fix it on site, given all the issues with the floor. And, what else, David, did you?
We reviewed the statement of objectives that Dick had made up, and there were some changes suggested. So he's gonna come up with a revised copy that we can present probably to the town board to show them that we're knowledgeable and organized.
Right. Yeah, Dick has done a wonderful job writing the statement of objectives.
And we have a new member to our working group, a lady named Tricia Talso, who wasn't able to be here this meeting, but will be, I believe, at our meeting next month. And everybody was in agreement with that. The survey results, the community survey results, will be winding up the end of this month or June 1st. And the library staff is going to compile those results and email them to the working group members so we can review them, and we'll talk about them to incorporate them into the planning at our next meeting also. And the electrical contractor is going to be here tomorrow.
And Dick took Abby out to the carriage house so that he showed her where the board wanted the temporary outlets for him.
Good.
So can I ask a question about that? If there's a possibility that the whole building might move, and it might be, if I understand this right, like lifted, moved, and then put in a new foundation there or at some other place, would we maybe not want to hold off on electrical and data and all of that if it's literally going to be moved around? Like if electrical is installed in a building and then the building, like that doesn't really compute to have.
Well, you can disconnect the wires at the sites, and there's a power on the outside of the building that can be disconnected. And once the building is moved and set, they can run it the line from the power post, I think that's what they call it. From the electric company to the building, and they're putting them on an open wall. So they're easy access to disconnect the lines, so actually it's just a matter of turning off the power and disconnecting the wires.
And
And then reconnecting after everything is moved or resituated or.
Yeah,
I think the thought was, we sort of discussed it, if I'm remembering this correctly, the thought was that we get it done. And then if, further down the line, we know we have power to the property. And if it needs to be adjusted and moved wherever it needs to be moved to, it just gets done at that time.
and then having the power set in, we can start off asking performers or other people to come and do things where they can hook up their speakers and their mics and whatnot. And just to have lights for different events that we might host.
In the intro.
Yeah.
Like, we could still start having music events outside under that portico in front of the carriage house. Things like that could still start to happen, whether it's moved or not, but we'll at least have power to the site.
that's a really
Gotcha.
good,
Yeah,
That
because
makes
we
sense.
run a cord across the road and that's not a really good idea.
Yeah.
No, and I think it's just a matter of disconnecting, turning off the power at the street,
Yeah, we just call it.
disconnect the wire, move it to the new place,
They'll
reconnect it,
come and do
turn it
that
back
for you.
on. It should be pretty minimal. Tiny percentage of the amount of money that we are planning to spend.
What,
A minuscule amount of the money that we are planning on spending would be probably spent on this little thing.
I see. I guess the other work group has a lot of work cut out for them then. Or
Yeah.
we all do in terms of fundraising.
Underline all.
yeah.
That's great. Anything else? That's really, yeah, excellent. Is there anything else from the working groups? It's great. Great work. All right, well, the next meeting is June 17th at 6 p.m. right here in the library. And is there a motion to adjourn? Well, I'm just don't know if we really need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Okay. I'm going to just call this meeting adjourned. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jeff,
Thank
and
you.
congratulations.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
48 years.
Yeah.
And
A
congratulations
hero.
to Jan Lee, who is the chair for the county now.
It's true.
You're the
I
chair.
know. Congratulations to that, which is a gigantic role to fill, actually.
What?
We're very proud of her.
Yes.
Who had been the chair?
Dennis Posernich.
Oh,
He'd been chair for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording.
Thanks, everybody. See you.
Hey,
Jeff?
All right.
I think carriage house people, I'm assuming if you're talking about moving